Hey kids, tonight I am going to be going through a quick walkthrough of my collection setup. We are right now in the utility room of our house, and basically it's kind of like an odd add-on room that whoever built this place originally, it's a second thought. We use it primarily for some storage and it's my ad hoc studio. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is switch the camera around so we can start checking it out. All right. There's our freezer. Got some guitars up on top. And first shelving, got my City Bots. My Titan class figures, Devastator, Triptychon, Metroplex, Fortress Maximus, Omega Supreme. I got a couple of Jetfire, Skyfire, however you want to call them. Megatron sitting on the Iron Throne right now. Some of my Legends class figures. My Star Wars shelf, dedicated basically just for my vehicles. There's a couple of 3 3/4 stuff down there. Diorama. My vintage collection, Red 5. Power of the Force A-Wings. Vintage collection. No, I don't. Yeah, I think these are vintage collection A-Wings. B-Wing as well. And the vintage collection Millennium Falcon. This thing's a beast. And there's I think that's the Disney World exclusive Sandcrawler that came out last year. I got a couple of the newer vintage collection TIE Fighters. I love those vehicles, except for the fact that those damn clips that hold the wings together keep snapping. I had to affix them permanently with some super glue. Ugh, that was a bitch and a half. Jurassic Park. I forget the name of that vehicle. Han Solo speeder car. Cobra Hiss. I think that's is it a Fang? Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get somebody to correct me. I forget the name of that helicopter. I love that Jurassic Park Brontosaurus. I've been keeping my reissue and knockoff boxes for the G1 toys. Those are the only ones that I've been keeping. Everything else I pretty much throw out. Some of my diorama supplies, oil barrels, backdrops, my Rogue One tank driver, and then we're going up. Now this is where it basically, for the most part, turns into my Transformer collection. I stick with Chug. Chug's my favorite scale to stay with. I was into Masterpiece for a little bit, but it just got way too expensive, and I prefer to keep everything Chug. I realized a little later on that that's where I want to focus my collection. This shelf is nothing but Shockwave and Optimus Prime, and there are a few Megatron figures in there, but Megatron has historically not had really good figures made out of him. I do have the Masterpiece Megatron and the oversized KO, and a couple of the one of the Legion figures, and a couple of miscellaneous Megatron figures. I love Megatron. I love Galvatron too. I do have the Open and Play Galvatron. He's one of my favorite figures. He just looks so cool. I wish I had backlighting back there so you could actually see what's going on. This is my Decepticon Chug shelf. Oh man, I love the way these guys. I've got multiple Cyclonuses from Generations. Classic. I think that's classics. Yeah. Yeah. And then here's my Autobot Chug shelf. You might notice there are a couple of figures in here that aren't necessarily Chug, like that KFC Blaster. I forget his actual name, but you know, in lieu of actually having a Chug scale blaster that he'll have to do. And I hope with the next War for Cybertron line that we get one. These are my combiners. My dragon figures, which I really, really like. Normally, I've been staying with Chug for the most part, but there are a few exceptions to that. That dragon figure, oh, I loved him so much when I got the blue one initially, the Guardian, and I had to get the other one because he's so awesome. There's a third version, which is the black, red, and gray color scheme, which I really want to get. And here are the Decepticon combiners, along with all my Seekers for the most part. I can see I got a Seeker problem. The top shelf is kind of like my overflow shelf. I don't really have a place to stick these guys or do really anything with at this point. They're just kind of occupying that shelf. A couple of miscellaneous vehicles that, again, I just don't have a dedicated area for. Now over here is where I do most of my photography. If you've been following me and looking at my galleries, you recognize this background. It took me a long time to amass enough pieces to get it as big as it is. I really want to get it bigger, but those chain bases are getting more expensive and more difficult to find a distributor that's selling them. Now, this is where I keep my 3 3/4 inch action figures. As you can see, they have basically, I don't really have anywhere to display these guys. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Marvel. There are a couple of DC figures, not too many. You can hear my dogs. Let's see here. My Microman, Micronaut, miscellaneous science fiction. They're coming to get you, Barbara. But I even have some 6-inch Dialects. And, oh, that's so distracting. Hey, let's go see what they're crying about. They're probably lonely. See, the second I go up, hey, what's the matter, huh? Crazy dogs. You want a treat? Will that shut you up? Yeah, I know. Let me get you a treat. So, bet you didn't think you're gonna see dogs get treats this evening. Chicken jerky. Nuka. Yoshi. Set. No? There you go, Yoshi. There you go, Nuka. Alright, can I finish my video now? Alright. Probably not. Anyway. So, there you have it. For the most part, it's a long view of the studio. In the back there, there's some storage. I've got a huge collection of the 4 or 5-inch Gundam figures. I really need to bust those guys out and find a place to display them. When they're made of a vinyl that if you start, they're stored for a prolonged period of time, they will warp. So periodically, I'll bust them out and play with them a little bit, pose them, and set them up like the Gundam Parade, whatever. But there you have it, guys. There's a toy room. You might notice that my G1 collection is nowhere to be seen. That's because it's in another part of the house. They have their own dedicated shelf for G1. So I've got all my trade paperbacks, hardcover, bound editions of the G1 comic book. And let me switch this back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you like what you see, let me know. Comment in the comment bar, and you guys enjoy your lockdown. Have a good night.